Hello everyone and thank you for watching this video. My name is Vikram Shetty and I'm director of 73bit. The reason I'm doing this video is to share you with an idea. I wanted to understand if we can create a project, a tiny project, which can be done in 5 days, which is 40 hours. And at the end of the completion of the project, you get paid. It's more like a consulting work that you do. So it can be a stopgap uh, way to get us through or get us forward in the coming months till we get a final permanent job. Especially the companies and consulting sustainability consulting companies can take advantage of it, and even it helps to the people who are looking for job and currently are not. This is something that you could do parallelly in terms of the job search that you're doing, and the giveaway is simple. So you design your work or design your solution in such a way that you complete it in 5 days, and at the end of the 5 days the company pays you for the work or the outcome that you bring in from your work. So that's the idea. Now you might have a lot of questions like I had when I started thinking about this idea, listing down what are the possible questions. So instead of I finding out all the questions that might have come into your mind, I thought of creating this video and also adding an experimental sessions where I, along with the community, figure out what kind of jobs that job roles that can have such tiny projects that can be completed within 5 days. So that's my attempt with this 40 hours experiment. I will share you where I can help, and the reason I need the help of the community is even though I work with sustainability, I have been working with sustainability teams for last 5 years. My primary role was to write software or to solve problems, especially in corporate sustainability assessment or benchmarking, in which we collect the data from companies for our clients, help them automate the scoring part of it, do further analysis if required, and create bespoke benchmark or assessment report for individual companies. So that can be from 30 companies to 300 companies. So you can see we introduce a lot of technology and automation to do that. So I understand the whole framework from once the methodology or the framework for assessment is done. That's my understanding. Overall, otherwise also understand other job functions a little bit, but not in depth. So that is where I need your expertise and help me untangle the things that I might be missing in pursuing this idea. So what will be the outcome of this experiment? So from my end, there will be 5 sessions along with you where we will break through it. I will just share you a screen. This is 40-hour job experiment. So there are 5 steps to it. Define your domain, design your solution, do your work, deliver an outcome, and draw your income. So those are the 5 steps. For the to see if this uh, experiment or this idea has any weightage, I will be working with you for step number 1 and 2 to conclude if there is any value in doing this. So firstly, the define your domain. When I say that, it's basically the job role for which we can define any work that can be done. And the second, this is the bulk of it. The 5 session will heavily contain this design your solution, where we will exactly decide what kind of work that we can accomplish, what will be the outcome, what should be the input from the company or the consultant, what will be the exact outcome, why they will pay you for that, and how much work that you need to do in it, what skill set might be required, and so on and so forth. When I say outcome here, it has to be a lot of value that we need to provide it, and I'll get back to you why I think the value bit is more important here. I think I need to address that. So think about it. Sometimes is when you for something that the company or the consulting is trying to do, and if you could do that and your work produce 2x or 3x value for that work. So the X amount of money that they would be more than happy to give you. So once we provide more value to the client or the company, they will be happy. So it's more on a value or outcome base, less on a transactional of the number of hours you work. Uh, is it's not that. Even though the constraint is there, we will try to do something which is feasible within 40 hours. So I hope that message is sent across. So let's go to the next. So define your domain. So these are the 5 domains that I could think of. So what are the advantage of this experiment? So this is, I think, a new way of applying for a job. So even if there is no opening at particular company, but or a consulting, but you're keen to work with them. So if you can figure out if you can draw a defined blueprint or a framework where you define what work can you do and within 5 days, so that's a good starting point for someone to take a risk. And if you can afford it, you can offer it to do for free and then see how they treat it, and you will also learn the culture and how the work goes. So that's a good win-win for you and the company that you want to apply for. This also applies good for someone who is not into sustainability but in the fences but want to get into sustainability with their experience that they have. So this is a good test for them to do a small project to see if their skills overlap the kind of thing. So it's also helps them to test their hypothesis if they are qualified or if they are able to do. I'm sure they're qualified, but if they're able to do the work in the sustainability field. It also is a self-employment opportunity. The reason is then because I want to try the hypothesis only for a certain value of income, because otherwise the whole effort is not worth the time that you might put in, because the 40 hours of work might also require some initial marketing or sales kind of, or searching for the job kind of a work also. So there is additional amount of energy goes in, so the whole has to make commercial sense. So that's where self-employment opportunity also uh, comes up. Even if discussing this all opportunity gives it's a way to demonstrate remote work. If any one of you are able to finally do some job and get paid for it, it also shows that there are possibilities. This is a good way of learning from the community from where we are currently, and we are trying to help each other. Now coming to the value piece of it, this is very important. So one of the constraint that I found that we should be working is completely based on a good value that comes in a week's time. So this is anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500. I know that this is a pretty good, decent uh, income for 5 days work, but that is where the value has to be so good that it justifies this income, and it also helps us move forward during this challenging time. So that is basically my hypothesis, and that is basically my idea out there for you. And before I try to wrap it up, I just want to tell you thank you for watching till. If you're still watching it, thank you so much for watching till here. There are a lot of unanswered question you might have, because I've tried to keep it short to just send across the idea and to see if even the idea has the weight to go and to see if how many of you think uh, is we can do at least the 5 session to analyze this idea further and draw some design some solutions, a framework, a blueprint where it can be picked by anybody and start approaching companies with a specific outcome per se. So what are the next steps that you can do? I mean, let's start with very basic. I just want you to do 2 things for now. The first one is, do you think the idea works or not? If you think the idea works, tell me in the comments below, and tell me also the reason that why you think the idea will work. If you don't think the idea works, tell me in the comments below, put no and tell me your reason. Thank you very much. This is Vikram Shetty from 73bit.com. Thank you very much for watching.